So let's talk about negative. In another video, I talked about negative that comes from outside of us, from family, from friends and coworkers, and from strangers. So in this video, I want to talk about negative that comes from within us. And you know, we're our biggest critics. We hear ourselves more than we hear anybody else. So we have to be very cautious of what we say to ourselves. Negative can come from anywhere at any time in our heads. That little voice that pops up at any time that says we can't. What are you thinking? Who would listen to you? I'll never be successful at that. I'm a failure, whatever it is. Negative comes from within us at all times. That's because we're surrounded by it all the time. You know, we were raised with negative all around us, and we may have been told by others, you're not good enough. You know, you're lazy. You'll never amount to anything. You'll never succeed. And this is very sad, but that programs our subconscious mind. Now, subconscious mind can't distinguish what's true and what's false. So how do we handle this negative that comes from within us? Well, you have to saturate it with positive. You have to saturate it with a positive mindset, a PMA. You know, where does this come from? Well, it can come from lots of different sources. One is positive books. Read positive books. Read history books of people who've been successful and what they dealt with and how they handled the negative. And know that you're not alone. Know that you can do it. It doesn't matter who you are, where you're starting, you are good enough. You know, I have to say that to myself all the time because I'm not some great multimillionaire that everybody knows. I'm just me, you know, here in this town. But it doesn't matter. I'm good enough and I'm capable enough, just like you are. So reading positive books is one way. Listen to positive audios. You know, I try not to play my radio because there's lots of negative. Now, if I do play my radio, it's usually 80s music. But you know, even with my children, I'm putting a gateway of what they're reading and what they're hearing because I don't want that to be going into their mind and programming their little minds because that'll come back eventually in their adult years. So you really have to listen to positive audios and saturate all that negative. You can't get rid of negative in your mind. It's been proven that you only can get that negative saturated by the positive. So, you know, it's just like you have to have more positive, more negative. If you have more negative than positive, that negative is going to come out faster. If you have more positive than negative, then you're more likely to have positive come out. So, the second is listening to positive audios. The third is association. Who are you hanging around with? What are they talking about? What are they watching? What are they listening to? You know, do you have a mentor? Association's key. You know, get around a positive association. Now, hopefully your family, hopefully your wife, children are positive. You know, you have to be on the same side. I'm not a family therapist, so I can't help you in that area. But, you know, be around a positive association. You know, in offices, it's very hard because lots of people work very closely together in cubicles or in different office environments. You just have to, I was fortunate one place I worked, I could listen to a radio. I didn't have to listen to everybody else. I could put on headphones. But be careful who you listen to. Tune out the negative so it doesn't go into your subconscious mind. Hang around people who are also going where you want to go. People who have hopes. People who have dreams. People who have ambitions. People who are like you and like you're going to lift each other up because you will have some bad days. You'll have some low days, and they can pick you up, and then vice versa. You can pick them up. Okay, and it's all a positive. And make sure that association, though, doesn't get negative and negative creeps in. I've seen that as well. You have to make sure you have to commit to a positive environment. Another association that's key is having a mentor, and I've said it quite a bit in other videos, but that's the key because mentors will be there to help you. They'll point out, okay, maybe you need to change the way you're approaching this, saying about this, talking about this. Trust me, you know, I've done lots of side businesses. In fact, as I'm filming this video, I'm wrapping up my second book. Boy, you're talking about the negative that creeps into my head. Will anybody buy that book? Am I just wasting my time? You know, is this a waste? Is this a waste of my energies? Nobody's going to want to read it, and on it goes. I just have to cap that negative. That's the first step, is to cap it, stop it, recognize it, and cap it. and then saturate that with positive. So look at other people who've written books, you know, that are, you go to a bookstore and it's replete with people who've written books, most of all I've never heard of. So that's the three areas where you can change that negative that's going on inside of you to make it positive. And that's huge. Like I said at the beginning of the video, you listen to yourself more than anybody else. So you have to change the way you think. You have to change the way you see things, change the way you see yourself. Again, talk to yourself. You know, some people like to use affirmations. I like to use affirmations. Create an affirmation card or affirmation sheet that you speak to yourself every day. It could be multiple times a day, at least once a day. You can carry it around with you and study it and review it. And you have to speak it out loud. Affirmations are really no good unless you speak it out loud. So say some affirmations about how you're good enough, how you're capable, you're good enough just as you are, you know, that you matter, that you have great ideas, that you will be successful. Okay, people will read your book, people will buy your program, people, whatever business you're starting, people will buy your services. Okay, say those affirmations, and you have to continue those affirmations as you continue your business. So hopefully that helps. Again, it's all in your thinking. If you change your thinking, you'll change your life.